everybody out there. Hello, hello, hello. Everybody with us? I don't know. This is going to be a good one. You're ready? I'm ready. All right, everybody. I am your host, Jessica Koch, and we're back. And this is Profound Professionals. It is the interview series that has been coming to you for almost 10 years. We have a 10-year anniversary next year. I'm very excited. We're going to have a birthday party. We're going to be 10 years old. That is such a great age. Um, we are happy to bring you industry experts from all over the world, and they help improve your personal life or they help you grow your business. At this point, we have featured more than 1,000 industry experts from everywhere. So, what a party we are going to have. Today, I bring a brilliant, a beautiful, passionate, amazing human. She speaks my language. She's right up my alley. You know how important legacy is to me as a mom, as a grandmother, as a human. I really feel legacy is the true mission. And Marsha is leaving a legacy of inspiration for others. And I can't wait to talk more about that. Welcome, Marsha.
So happy to be here, Jessica. I'm so excited. Thank you for inviting me.
I'm so excited to have you. It's so way overdue. We've known each other quite a few years
I
now
know, I
and running
know.
in the same circles. So, talk to me about what your main focus for inspirational legacy is and how you kind of led there. Because I know it's only been, and I'm embarrassed to admit this, and I really want to try to instill in my younger adult children, even though I'm not sure if it'll work because I guess we have to be ready. But I wish I had been thinking of legacy and what I'm leaving on this planet so much sooner in life. And it's really been heavy with me probably the last 5 years, and intensely so the last two or three. I've been thinking about that more than what are my business goals. I've been thinking more about what are my legacy goals and how am I incorporating that in my business today? Like what am I doing today that is going to leave um, someone inspired or helped or supported when I'm not here anymore. So how did you get there? What's your journey, Marsha?
Well, first of all, at the outset, I will say I'm 73 years old, and this legacy of inspiration was not always in my awareness. Okay.
Mhm.
And I would say in the last maybe 5, 10 years, it's really become predominant in sort of my awareness, in my consciousness. How did I get there? Well, let's rewind a bit. When I was born, I had a heart condition called patent ductus arteriosus, which means that the heart, a valve should have been closed and it wasn't. It required heart surgery at age 4. There was a blood transfusion. The blood transfusion gave rise to a condition called hepatitis C. I ended up having hepatitis C, got diagnosed with that. Well, I was born in 52, so in 1985, 86. And back then there was no treatment for hepatitis C. So basically the liver specialist said, the only treatment we have right now is we're doing experiments with pigs' livers for transplantation. And he said, maybe down the road you'll get a pig's liver. And I said to him at the time, you're not giving me a pig's liver because I'm a vegetarian. So I didn't want to, so I didn't want a pig's liver inside of me. So I knew I had to do anything that was moral, legal, or ethical to sort of prolong the chances of my living a long life rather than being at the result of a liver degeneration over time, which was beyond my control.
Mhm.
So that's when I decided I had to do something and take control of my health. And I did a number of things, and I ended up getting treatment for hepatitis C about 10 years ago. And I got rid of the hepatitis C, but it still gave rise to a liver condition called cirrhosis,
Mm.
which means that I'm currently being monitored for liver cancer. I get a checkup every 6 months with the doctor. That includes an ultrasound and blood work. Now, my focus, my mission, my passion is health and wellness. And in my family, 8 people have passed away with cancer, and 4 other people in my family have survived cancer or currently just come through cancer. So that's 12 people in a family who have some kind of connection with cancer. So, we're told that what we eat is important, what we do in terms of movement of our body is important, and all those pieces are important. But what came across my path about 9 months ago is phototherapy technology. And this is what it is. It's a patch
Mm,
that reactivates dormant stem cells.
mm.
Now, why is this profound? Because I used to have curvature of the spine. And just after having worn this patch for 4 months, I don't have curvature of the spine anymore.
That's
So,
remarkable, but I do need to say one thing. I already remind everybody this is a podcast and it is not giving you medical, legal, or financial
that's
advice.
right.
If you have any medical conditions, you should seek a physician, you should seek a doctor, and you should totally have a conversation with Marsha and explore lots of holistic solutions. There's so many
Yeah,
modalities of holistic health out there. Have conversations, but remember, this is a podcast, a show. We're
that's
sharing
right.
our experiences, our entertainment,
Yeah.
our enjoyment for you. You need to do your homework and research, but I still think a conversation with Marsha and her journey and learning more about this is a great idea. But please make sure that you are not taking our show as your medical solutions. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Marsha. I just know that I
Yeah.
should
You have
make
to say that. Yeah.
yes.
And
So
so what
that
I'm
you
sharing here
share
is
your
just
story. Yes.
this is my story.
Yes.
And if people want to reach out to me after, they can.
Yes.
So the whole point of me being here is that people can take responsibility for their health. And
Mhm.
this is what I'm doing. Now, coupled with that, I have an online community of 450 people, and we go under the banner of We Seniors Are Valuable.
Mhm.
So it's basically for people who are 50 plus. And in that community, I bring in prominent speakers about twice a month, and we
Mhm.
talk about various topics that are of interest to different people.
Mhm.
Things about finances, your
Mhm.
health, mindset, how to maintain good brain health,
Mhm.
consciousness, meditation, what can you do to reduce stress? So there's a whole host of different speakers that we have. And that is really a service where there's no charge for people to join. Now, the odd speaker, I might charge $25 to get the replay, but normally the replay is sent out for no charge. So
Mhm.
that's something else people can plug into.
Mm. I love that. I think that's wonderful. Now, how are you working with your customers? So when they come to you, they may be on different health journeys and they might be seeking guidance for different reasons. What do you find most commonly is happening with someone when they're like, you know what, I really need to talk to Marsha and work through some ideas and some options and some things that might take me on my journey differently from a health standpoint.
Well, one of the things that I've helped people do is to get off sugar, white sugar. I've
Mm,
I've been off sugar myself for almost 8 years. So I've developed a protocol and a series of modalities that people can use, and it's quite simple. I can help people do that within 30 days.
well, is there recipes and things for that person who loves some sort of dessert, but that you can make without sugar?
Yes, there are recipes that one can make at home without sugar. Yes, absolutely.
That's good.
Absolutely. Another thing, I'm a teacher of transcendental meditation and I've been a practitioner of TM for many years. So I also help people with mindfulness and meditation and help them to reduce stress. So that's
Mm,
another thing that I do. Another thing, I used to be overweight. So I have coached many women on how to remove the weight, keep it off, and reduce sugar cravings or even stop cravings at that for that point, for that matter.
right. That's really wonderful. And I think we all, as we enter different seasons, doesn't really matter what season it is during the calendar year. We all want to make sure that we're at the optimum health for both how we look and feel and our confidence, and how we fit in our clothing, to just being the really healthiest, best versions of ourselves. Because I was reading something. I've been doing some intermittent fasting from time to time. I do intermittent fasting, and one of the things I was reading about with that even was I didn't realize there can even be fat around your organs, and when you get to a certain point, you're actually removing some of
Yeah.
that. So not only are we putting stress on like our joints and our body carrying around extra weight that isn't necessary, and that just uh, is harder on our body, we're also taxing our organs, and of course our heart and things, because we're having to work harder at everything we do when we have that bit extra weight. So I think that that's a wonderful, on so many levels, that's a wonderful thing that you're able to help people do, Marsha. And personally, I like to stay away. Again, this is my preference, my story, my opinion. You go talk to your doctor, but I try to stay away from any medications, shots, liquids, anything that they are saying is wonderful to help you lose weight, because I just never know what is going to be the repercussion later on. So I'm
Yeah.
always trying to find a healthy, natural way um, to get to the ideal weight for me. I have a few extra curves, but my issue is I really like food, and
Yeah.
being in an Italian family and growing up with all of those recipes and things, it can sometimes be difficult to make that transition. So when you say you're a vegetarian, my mind can't even imagine what that is, because it's just been such a part of my 52 years of living. So
Now, two things I want to say here. I just recently decided that I'm going to transition from being a vegetarian to something else. So just yesterday, I had my first bite of salmon in 52 years.
wow.
Yep. So I want to start moving from that and maybe having salmon 3 times a week to start.
Mm,
Now, the other thing I want to say too, and we don't need to mention any particular medication here, but
mm,
currently, right now in the world, there's a certain medication that people are using to reduce weight. And I
mm.
don't want to get into the side effects or name it,
No,
but
but yeah.
one of the things I would say is people uh, should really look at an option with somebody who's in that field of weight removal
Mm,
and see if they can do that with the support of somebody of that caliber so
mhm,
that you are developing the habits on a daily basis and the mindset to
mhm,
not only remove the weight but keep it off, because
mhm.
I think this is my perspective. I don't think long term we want to be on some kind of medication to
Yeah,
keep the weight off. So I just wanted to say that for people to give some thought to that.
I agree. I agree. So what else? I know, so we talked about, you do stress release, you do meditation support, you do long-term weight loss, you've got this great community. What are we missing? Anything else that you do to support people in their journey?
No, I think that covers quite a bit of things for people. Oh, the other thing I'm going to start doing with this group is I'm going to start leading a group meditation once a month.
Oh,
We
that's
seniors
nice.
are valuable. It'll either be meditation or mindfulness. So
Mm,
here's the thing. In our daily activity, when we're not sleeping in sleep, we're in a state of consciousness called waking consciousness. When we are out in the world and we're a professional or an entrepreneur or a mother or a grandmother, the brainwave activity that we're involved with is beta brainwave activity. But I think it's really important for people to take time each day to relax, to
mm.
disconnect from all the distractions around us, and that will bring us either into theta or what was the other one? Anyways, the relaxation brainwave is theta, and
Mm,
that's where we want to go daily.
mm. I had a funny experience. because I've been letting myself heal and sleep a little more, I slept in a bit this morning, and in my dream, I realized I was dreaming, and I knew that it was okay to fall. But then a
Yeah.
little bit later in my dream, I
Yeah.
believed that I was awake, but I was still dreaming. And then I was worried that, okay, you can't fall now because you're actually awake. So,
Yeah.
the mind is a fascinating thing. It's a little bit scary to think that
Yeah.
you can get confused between the two, you
Yeah.
know, and they seem very, very real.
Yeah.
Uh, so I always think there's so much with our brain and with our bodies that are so fascinating, and almost magical. I mean, truly, I know it's medical and science and all of that jazz, but how it works in such a symphony and so perfectly. Um, Seems a little bit magical to me. So,
Yeah. I just want to come back to this whole idea of taking sort of a few minutes each day just to relax.
mhm,
Like you can just sit in a chair and take 5 to 10 deep breaths in and out. And
mhm,
that'll take you from beta to alpha or theta. And
mhm,
that'll help you relax right away. So it's very easy. Like we don't have to go to India and become a swami or a guru.
mhm.
You can just do it for just a couple of minutes a day. It makes a huge difference to the nervous system.
Our book club is doing a book right now, called "Ask and It Is Given." And the process, because there's different processes in this book that we're on today and focused on, was meditation, and it
Yeah.
went through the power of meditation and different ways to achieve it, and stuff like that. So that's really wonderful that we're talking about this now. Unfortunately, just having a conversation with Marsha is a whole litany of tips and suggestions that are going to make your life better, already, but we are all on the official tip section. So, do you have it? We already got the take a minute and breathe, and do make sure you get to that meditated state at least for a few minutes every day. But what's another tip that you could give everyone that they could do, that would make things better for them today?
One of the things that I would say is to journal every day. And
That's
this does not have to be anything complicated. Just
mm-hmm,
get a notebook and
mm-hmm,
a pen and
mm-hmm,
you just start writing. And people might be thinking, "Well, what am I going to write about?" You could just sit for about 2 minutes, close your eyes and just do some breath work in and out, get focus on your breath, get settled, and then come into a place of gratitude and appreciation.
mm-hmm,
And then open your eyes slowly and then just start writing what you're grateful for. And that will create automatically a shift for you. That
mm-hmm,
can take you out of anxiety, that can take you out of depression, and you don't have to spend more than like a couple of minutes just writing. And you
mm-hmm,
can make that a daily practice. Very simple. You just go to your local dollar store, get a notebook for a dollar or two,
mm-hmm.
my Dollarama pencil, my Dollarama notebook, and there you go.
That's something I tend to splurge on whenever I'm in a really good bookstore or a really cool place. I always seek out a beautiful, elaborate, amazing,
Yeah,
wonderful journal, because they make me happy when they're
yeah,
pretty and leather bound, and the gold
yeah,
edge pages and the ribbon, and it just it adds for me to the experience. But I've
yeah.
found some, even like you said, the dollar store is possible, but I've found some really beautiful ones even at the Five Below. And I mean, so it doesn't have to cost
Yes.
$50 or whatever.
Yeah.
But and of course, some of the office supply stores and places have been good, but the bookstores have been my favorite, I think.
Yes.
But when I travel too, I look in little shops, and often
Yeah.
I'll find a fascinating or
Yeah.
interesting um, journal. I love journaling. Uh,
Yeah.
I, I write everything down. It makes me feel happy.
Now, here's another thing about journaling. If you keep your journals over the years
Hmm.
and you can date, you can put a date on the cover of the journal, and then you can go back and read and show how much you've grown and developed.
Yeah. It's true. It's
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
I have saved many of my notes and journals, and I don't know. I think that's also a piece of you, right? For the
Yeah.
for people who love you, to have that little look into your, a way to connect with you when you're not here, maybe, you know.
Yes.
So I love that tip. All right, since the very beginning, you know what's next out there. Start typing in the comments. We love that you're watching and that you're with us. Please put nonprofit causes that you care about, that's close to your heart. Our idea here is to inspire someone to give time, treasure, or talent, to a cause that they hear about from our guests, that you remember, that you love, that you haven't checked in with in a while, or just to spread awareness about someone that you may know that needs this cause, but you didn't know it existed, or that you and your family may be able to have benefit, from the causes. Awareness is huge. There's so much support out in the world, but if you don't know the support is there, even if you're in need of it, then it isn't making the connection. So awareness is also our gift in this segment of our show. So what's a cause that you care about, Marsha?
Share life. And this is, I live in Toronto, Canada. So this is an
Mhm,
organization that is affiliated with my church. And what it does is it connects different service agencies for
mhm,
people who are in need of maybe clothing, food, home, shelter, companionship. So
mhm.
this is something that I contribute to.
I
This is
love.
what, yeah,
And the fascinating thing is, I've heard from guests from all over the world, and many of them share, causes that are just directly in their community or with their church or organization. And fascinating enough, if you need something like that, if you research, you might have something similar right in your own backyard.
yeah,
So if you are in need of a support like that, it's often, you're able to find it. So I love that you
yeah.
shared that. Thank you so much. And you know how I feel about books, everyone. So books is next. If you're an author out there, type it in the comments when someone's kind enough, to share. Your book might be just what someone gets to see and learn about. If you have books that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business, we totally love to see that too. I said this recently, but I really believe it, that, I feel like books are very much like the concept of, if, the student is ready, then the teacher appears. And I think books come into our lives that way as well, which is why it's so exciting for us to share, all these different books that have inspired people, with our guests and with our community. So, Marcia, a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?
I love Jack Canfield's Success Principles. You can't go wrong with Jack Canfield.
I think he's great too. One of my favorite of his, is The Power of Focus. I remember one
Yes.
Thanksgiving holiday, I took that on the trip, and I could not put it down. Like, and usually those kinds of books, I read a little bit, I try to do the exercises and this, but that one was so powerful, I couldn't put it down. And then I went back and, read a little bit and did but, yeah, he is an amazing, amazing writer. One of the books that comes to mind with the, legacy and the inspiration and the mindset we've been talking about, and I've been sharing them a lot, is, two other books. I already talked about the Asking is Given, but Gene Keys. Have you read Gene Keys, Marcia? I think you would love that book. Um,
You know something? I have that on Audible, I think, and I don't think I've listened to it yet. I'm just going to make note of that here.
yeah, it is super powerful, and, really amazing. I've recently been exposed to it. Another guest came on and told me about it, and, I'm so glad that I bought it from Amazon, because I don't think the audio is going to do it justice. I can imagine.
Oh, okay.
I just bought the book. It's brand new, but I already see it in my hands, worn and marked and tabbed and under, like, I haven't done it yet, but I'm holding it knowing this is going to be a book that I go back to and go back to and go back to. It's really, really
Okay.
wonderful. Another book that I have listened to on audio that I think you would also love if you haven't heard of it yet is, Quantum NLP by, I think it's Christina Turner. I got the free. I use my library audio, and I get it. I get a lot of books for free, and I found her there. She reads the book herself, and she's European, so she has a bit of an accent, but it is a really phenomenal book. And I think along the lines of some of the things that you love as well. So now we're going to talk about a really wonderful author. Marsha, share with us of some of the books that you've written.
Well, actually, I've been fortunate to be involved with 4 books. This book, I joined with a number of other people, put me in
Mm,
coach, and this made us a #1 international best-selling author. This is on Amazon. And then another book that I wrote myself. This is my hepatitis C journey, the book of hepatitis C.
mm,
Seven simple strategies to shift from surviving to thriving after hepatitis C. I believe this is on Amazon.
mm,
Um, Now this is the book for by women for women, Chocolate and Diamonds for the Woman's Soul.
mm.
I think this is on Amazon. And then my latest book, I don't think I put this on Amazon. In fact, this is right behind me here. The Ultimate Guide to Healthy Wealth.
Wow.
7 tips to abundance and the longevity to enjoy it.
That's right. You need both health and wealth.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking some of these areas are feeling stuck for you, Marsha would be a fantastic person to reach out to. How would they best find and reach out to you, Marsha, if they wanted to have a discovery call or talk about some of the ways you guys might collaborate or work together, or you might support them? What's the best way for them to find you?
Probably the best thing would be just to send me an email, and it's just simply my name, Marsha at marshalecour.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's nice and easy. Send her an email and get a little time together
Yeah.
and see if you guys are a great fit so that you can live an amazing, abundant, legacy-led life with Marsha. It has been so nice to have you on the show today, Marsha. I hope you've enjoyed it.
I've loved it. Thank you so much, Jessica.
I love interviewing guests from all over the world. We've done so many guests from so many countries. But if you're out there thinking, wait, I improve people's personal lives, I help them live the best version of themselves, I help them have a amazing abundant business so that they can leave it like a legacy, like the Rockefellers, to my family for generations of wealth, I can do that too. I've written books, I'm an author. Well, reach out to me and my team, and we'll see about getting you featured as a guest on Profound Professionals too. But before we go, though, Marsha, I would love for you to share with us a final thought, a piece of information or inspiration as we go.
I think one of the things that people, especially who are entrepreneurs and in business and professionals, they want to become an effective leader. And I think embodying leadership qualities, I mean, magnetism,
Mm-hmm.
charisma, integrity are all those pieces, but I think it's really important that to have clarity of mind, and to have clarity of mind, we want to have a state of inner calm.
Mm,
And I come back to that whole idea of just taking a few minutes each day just to settle back and do some breath work or mindfulness or meditate.
I
Uh,
love that. This has been yet another amazing show, just my opinion. This is Profound Professionals. I'm your host, Jessica Koch. And until the next one, I always ask that you be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other.